Batman 140, legacy number 905. This is Chip Zdarsky writing with Jorge Jimenez on the art.
I did love Bruce versus Zdarsky. Like, that was an interesting thing. I feel like this is a backdoor sequel to The Knight, but it's not good in any of the ways that The Knight was good. You know?
Yeah,
it's really descending into because Batman.
Well, my big, I dislike that he's doing that sequel to the Night stuff as well, because it just feels kind of shoehorned in. But my big thing is that I really did not like that second arc where we're in the Other Earth, and I feel like we're just doubling down on the multiverse stuff, and I could not be more sick of multiverse stories at this point. So, yeah, technically it's all in his head, but all these different Zur-En-Ars were basically clung on to him as he was meeting all the other universe Batman in issue 900. So they're all here. So you got the Michael Keaton Zur-En-Ar, you've got the Adam West Zur-En-Ar, Dark Knight Returns, the animated series, all these different Zur-En-Ars.
Yeah, the Red Mist, the vampire version.
Yeah. So they're all here. They've all latched onto him because he met all the other versions of Batman. So he's fighting them in his mind as Zur-En-Ar is in control of his body and is trying to kill the Joker. The one thing I'll say I kind of like is I do like the idea that the Joker is excited that Batman's got an edge. He's like, oh, you're actually trying to kill me today. Oh, like, I like that because that plays into what I like about the characterization of the Joker. So I appreciate that much.
That's the most I liked of Chatty Joker because, you know, I love Sinister Joker.
Oh, did you say Chatty Joker?
Chatty, yeah.
I said Chatty.
No. No,
as in Chip Zdarsky, like, I don't know. I thought you said Chatty Joker. I'm like, what?
No, Chatty, because he's awful talky in this one. You know, he's not that dark, sinister one that we've been getting in the King and Garrett's. You know.
Yes.
So
a good comic book.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So, but he was kind of here where he's like, oh yeah, I like this. Yeah, hit me. You know, that was nice. But yeah, all the different Zur-En-Ars, which I do love the concept of the Batman as Zur-En-Ar, just as like this backup that in case things go sideways, Bruce can operate. But I feel like we've just beat the dead horse, like with a baseball bat at this point. And then we get to the ending, and it's just like, oh, what are we doing?
We'll get there. I want to. So the whole thing is that there's after he's been fighting the Joker for a bit, Lucy, the French burglar who trained him and had a bit of a potential romance with him in the night. She's like, hey, Bruce, what are you doing? This isn't you. This darkness is overtaking you. And Bruce kind of like gains control for a minute to like talk to her and says that he's trapped in his own mind. But then Zur-En-Ar takes control again and tells her to go. Because he's got some Joker to be killing. So, yeah, the big thing is inside his head, Batman makes a labyrinth so that all the Zur-En-Ars get lost and can't find them. Which, okay, sure. My big thing here is I don't like the concepts that Zdarsky's playing with. Like, and it's almost like hard to critique in a weird way because I can critique some of it, and we've been doing that as we've been talking about the issues. But I think fundamentally, between like the second arc where he's in the alternate universe and then this story, I just don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of what he's doing, and it's making it very tough to get invested in anything. There's other things that are more not objective because they're definitely still subjective, but the stuff like not liking Batman's voice and stuff like that. Those are separate complaints, but this is the big thing for me. Is I just so. Anyway, how did this end? Because I don't remember.
Bruce ends up Bruce ends up like passing out from fighting all the Zur-En-Ars.
Yes.
And he's just out of reach, and he wakes up and he's like on a table and he hears his Zur-En-Ar voice.
Whoa, you're skipping over the big thing here, Matt.
What?
Batman Nightfall's Joker.
Oh yeah. Zur-En-Ar takes full control of Bruce.
Yeah, and breaks the Joker's back over his knee like Bane.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
I was like, why are you skipping that, man? That's a pretty big detail.
Yeah, I know, because I forgot. Right? And then so Bruce like passes out from his struggle, right? And we feel like Zur-En-Ar's in full control, but then Bruce wakes up like on a cot, and he hears the Zur-En-Ar voice, and he looks into the Batcave.
Oh yeah, I remember.
and now Zur-En-Arrh has inhabited Failsafe, which that's back. The Batman Terminator. Which
the groan that I let out upon this final page. Here's
the thing, though. Logically, the failsafe robot exists because Zur-En-Arrh, right? Was it Zur-En-Arrh or Bruce that did this idea? That in case he ever goes too far, there needs to be something that can rein him back in. So
I don't remember.
Yeah.
is the honest answer. I don't remember.
So if now Zur-En-Arrh is inhabiting the robot that's meant to go in case he goes too far, yet now he's gone too far, I don't know. It feels like a hat on a hat. They seem very counterproductive.
No, clearly this was not the intended thing that Failsafe was going to do. Zur-En-Arrh taking over Failsafe is very much like a new idea that Zur-En-Arrh's had. Mm-hmm. Why Zur-En-Arrh, which is just a part of Batman's mind, can leave it and go to a robot is anyone's guess, quite frankly. Yep. That doesn't make much sense to me. Like, it's what I was saying earlier. I said I don't like the idea, right? I don't like the idea of what we're doing with all the Zur-En-Arrhs in his head right now. I didn't like the multiverse stuff. I don't like all that. I enjoyed some of the Failsafe stuff in the first arc because it was basically like a Terminator hunting Batman down, and how does Batman fight a Terminator? That's kind of fun. But once it went beyond that, it started to nosedive pretty hard, and I feel like this latest development is just... It's almost doing exactly what a comic book run should do. It's making it all feel like one part of a big story that he had planned out.
Yeah.
I just hate the story he's got planned out.
Yeah, he's executing what he wants to fairly well. It's just you're still not a fan of the story. You know, I don't think the execution's the problem. It's what he's executing. I knew we were going to be in trouble when the way that he defeated Failsafe was to get shot with a multiversal gun that sent him into the multiverse. Then we were going. Like, I had issues with him skydiving from low space orbit, right, and surviving because of his cape and cowl and whatever.
And a singular sheet of metal, Matt. Let's not forget the key ingredient. Don't
let me forget the single sheet of metal. Little did I know that was it. I will say, Jimenez, this is no fault of the art. I feel like in the story is told very clear through the art, especially with the Zur-En-Arrh Batman. And it's cool that Jimenez gets to do so many different styles of Batman. The Batman 66 is very distinctive from, the Michael Keaton Batman. And I will give Zdarsky credit for kind of taking meta storytelling here. Like when Bruce tells the Michael Keaton Batman, well, at least I can turn my neck.
Oh, I hated that. Right? No, you
didn't like that?
I hated that line. It was so forced. Like,
I didn't mind it.
Like, I am self-referential, tongue-in-cheek, and meta humor. I am so done with right now because everything is tapping into it and has been for the last 20 years. Like, the Marvel movies having to have all the little quips all the time, stuff like Deadpool being popular. I am so done with that sense of humor that this little meta joke of making fun of the not turning your head was such a forced line to me. It's fine if it can naturally fit, but it didn't naturally fit. The idea that this other Batman from this other universe literally can't turn his head, and that's a plot point, is stupid. It's so stupid.
And that's why it worked for me, just because it added a different layer to something that I wasn't...
No, this is...
Not that I wasn't enjoying it as much.
This is nostalgia fan wanking. Yeah. That's what this is. This is, hey, we're going to reference to Michael Keaton's Batman to pop you all, which is my problem with all this Zur-En-Arrh bullshit, is it's just an excuse to have all these interpretations of all these other versions of Batman. You know what? Yeah. We all saw Spider-Man No Way Home, and it was a cheap trick in that made everyone convinced that was a good movie. And here we are in the Batman comic and we're trying to do it with that too, and I'm like no,
because it overstepped the line for me. And I know this happened before when he talks about the toys, Because I do get, and something along the lines of, all my toys, right? And that's where, so just the counter to that Bruce hits him with, that he can't turn his neck, I thought it was well executed there. And then the way that he takes out the vampire Batman, with the stakes, talking about, almost like there's a religious thing to it though too. So that was a little bit wonky thinking about it on the other way. But yeah, I just basically want to talk about Jimenez's art and how, despite the story being all over the place, the art's still pretty good.
Yeah, the art is obviously very solid. Jimenez knows what he's doing. It's a credit that we instantly get who all these different versions of Batman are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. That's all very well done. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm glad you brought up that turn your head thing, because I'd forgotten about it, and you angered me as soon as you said it. I was like, oh, that's right. That pissed me off.
Pete Zernar.
I'm glad
Pete
you did.
Zernar is going to come out. Yeah.
That's my secret. Yeah. I'm always Zernar.
Yeah.
So, I hate conceptually what this is. I just really do. Like, Batman finding strength at the end, that he is more than just Batman, and that's part of what makes him who he is. Mm-hmm. That is a fine sort of capper to like what Batman should learn at the end of an arc like this. I just did not enjoy the journey. I did not enjoy what felt like a bunch of cheap, fan servicey things, and I just conceptually, I don't like this run. I don't like these ideas. They're just not what I want Batman to be doing or what to be. And you can put Batman in a situation that I wouldn't have picked for him, and it might still work. Like Jason Aaron's books only had one issue.
Off-World.
And I didn't love it unconditionally, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than this.
It's not the circumstances, it's how you tell those circumstances. And
so did you read the backup?
Yes. Did you read the backup?
You said it wasn't the execution, though. No, you just said it was the execution.
Yeah. I'm trying to talk about this one. I've worked myself into a shoot here.
I don't want to talk about it either, to be honest. No, I did not read the backup, because when I got to the end of this story, I said, F this, I don't want to read any more of this book.
Yeah, so it's Vandal Savage. He can't leave Gotham and still remain immortal, so he's going to start making moves. And he ends up with this super rich group of like power players, like power brokers in Gotham. And they all kind of know who he is. And it all adds up to them being upset that Selina was able to train all of those thieves to steal from them. So now them, being the rich people of Gotham, are going to get their revenge by flexing their muscle even more, and Vandal Savage is kind of going to be their figurehead in all of this. So it's almost like the kind of Court of Owls adjacent, where they're going to be trying to run things from the shadows, and Vandal Savage is going to be their guy, because he ends up one of the thieves that works for Selina ends up with them, and Vandal Savage crushes his head in front of everybody. And they're like, see, that's what we need. And let me just double check. And then at the end, so the main guy that he's talking to is this kind of looks like Deathstroke. His name is Leonid Cole. And he's the one that's talking to Vandal Savage. So at the end, after Savage crushes this man's head, they go back to the kitchen to talk. And he goes, I need to know, how much do you know about that police commissioner? And it's an appointed position. So it seems like they're going to be making plays now towards Montoya, which I think is the biggest takeaway from this. Now is it's going to have Vandal Savage against the Question, which during the Rucka stuff was some of my favorite. So if it kind of touches on that, I'll be okay. The art is by Mike Hawthorne, so that's why I was asking if you had read it, because I know how much you love Mike Hawthorne's art.
Was that sarcasm, Matt?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was. I would say I enjoyed the Vandal Savage story a little bit more than the Batman story, for whatever that's worth. So, but yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. What are you rating Batman?
This is a 6.5, and it's mostly for the Jimenez art.
Yeah. I'll probably give it like a 6. Like I know I sounded probably more negative than that, but I regret nothing that was said. But yeah. Also, we didn't even really talk about, is this Joker actually dead? I'm just assuming no, because that feels like a big deal that's been glossed over if he is dead. But you know, just in case they say next issue, oh, that Joker dead, only 2 left. Well, it's a good job we got 3 then.
Yeah, let's pull the spare Joker from the back. Ugh.